Good morning, I'm Mai Rodriguez. Let's unlock the tricks of the trade, get to know the brilliant minds who changed their industries and created innovations that continue to influence lives. Be inspired here on Trade Talks, My Milyonaryo. The Quezon City government, in partnership with various groups, has launched Kita Initiative. It aims to empower women entrepreneurs and recognize their contribution to the economy. Mayor Joy Belmonte said the project aims to give women a key role in creating a prosperous, fair, and just society. And today we will speak with two organizations who are collaborating with the Quezon City government on this program. Let's welcome Angie Tijam-Tohid. She's the Executive Creative Director of Havas Ortega. We're also joined by Maica Teves. She's the Executive Director of Spark Philippines. Good morning to you, ladies.
Good morning. And happy Women's Month.
Happy Women's
That's
Month.
true. Happy
Indeed.
Women's Month.
Yes, thank you for coming over to talk about this very fantastic endeavor and movement, and also a celebration of women-led entrepreneurs, right? So first, let's talk about your organizations. First, let's talk, Maica, about Spark. What is Spark? And tell us about your involvement in this Kita initiative.
Yes, Spark Philippines, we are a nonprofit organization. We work in women empowerment and gender equality. We implement programs for various diplomatic missions for private sector partners and work with local government units to implement women's economic empowerment programs.
Mm-hmm. And what about Angie? Tell us about how Havas Ortega is involved in this project, and how did the Quezon City government and also parks, how did it all come together?
Yeah. First of all, thank you for having us. Of course, this initiative that we collaborated with Spark Philippines, and as you mentioned, the Quezon City government, we're actually the connector. Havas Ortega is a full-service advertising agency. And we're very, very excited, really, about this initiative we call the Kita Initiative. This is really for women entrepreneurs. We actually discovered that over 60% of MSMEs in the Philippines are actually women-led, women-owned. So that was really the starting point of this initiative with, of course, Spark Philippines.
And since it's women-led, women-owned, what are the contributions that they give to the communities?
I think number one, we are actually, our local economy is highly influenced by these women entrepreneurs. But since we see that impact that they actually make, we feel that they've been unrecognized for so long. So therefore, we know that they are actually the anchors of their communities, the anchors of their homes. It's really about time that we give them the recognition and also the support that they need.
All right, so Maica, how does Spark Philippines come in, and how are you collaborating with the Quezon City government and also with Havas Ortega to bring this all together?
Yes, so this is a partnership that we've done already with Havas. We worked together, especially after the Marawi siege. We helped women weavers then, and it was just a smart thing to do again, to work together, especially in our work with women's economic empowerment. With the Quezon City government, we've been partners with Quezon City since 2015, and we run about 80 programs with the Quezon City government, but mainly focusing on marginalized women. So these are single mothers, women, persons deprived of liberty, who are women in correctional facilities. We also work with single mothers. Really, the community that we at Spark serve are those communities. And I think the programs that we do are really intended to focus on women, especially for this initiative. 94% of Filipinos get their basic essentials from sari-sari stores. And I think that's one sector of women entrepreneurs or women in business who have not really been highlighted.
Yes, so I'd like to ask you about what types of businesses are these women in, and how many members do you currently have?
Well, currently we have about more than 8,500 graduates now from our various programming. We are celebrating our 12th year at Spark. Women across the Philippines. This could be a woman who is in a cooperative that we set up in Quezon City, who are now the major suppliers of school uniforms. It could also be a woman who lost her job during the pandemic. She was a restaurant manager, and during the pandemic, she started selling chicken in front of her house, and then had a pop-up. And currently now has 5 stores, which she owns, and 2 franchise stores. I mean, those are the
Inspiring
possibilities.
success stories. Give us more examples, especially you, Angie. I know like you are involved in empowering brands as
Correct,
well and
correct.
creating conversations.
Correct.
Tell us about the success stories of Kita Initiative.
As we launched this in the first community that we actually became part of is the Kamuning market. So in that community alone, we were able to connect with 21 businesses, of course, owned by women. They're running salons, sari-sari
Yes.
stores. There's even a motorcycle shop that's owned by a woman, and they're really making a significant difference in their communities. And it was so touching to hear their stories of the challenges that they faced. Of course, at the start, no one was. There was this one story of this woman who was saying that people were actually sort of laughing at them because they were just selling, a case of colas and a few candies, and that's how they started their business. But they kept going, and it's really doing it on their own. And these are the types of stories and women entrepreneurs that we actually want to help. And it starts with a symbol for them, a way for them to be marked visible. Because this initiative, at the center of this initiative is actually a font that we created specifically for women entrepreneurs. And we call it Kita. That's why it's the Kita initiative.
Okay, I'd like to
right?
talk about that font. So this
Yeah.
is a font that you've created. The businesses
Right.
can use,
Yeah.
right? And it's
Yes.
parang an identifying factor or an
Correct.
identifying typeface
Correct.
for them. Parang across all stores,
Correct.
makikita mo. It's branding,
Yes,
kumbaga.
yes,
Okay, tell
yes,
us more
that's
about
right,
that.
That's right. So we know that there's a lot of thoughtfulness that goes into designing a font, and that's the same for how we actually develop the Kita font, because there's of course it's aesthetically impactful because of its inspiration, which is the butterfly sleeves of the terno. So as you can see, it's actually shaped like the bell, the butterfly sleeves.
Yeah.
And this
It's very Filipino.
very Filipina, number one. And at the same time, it actually almost captures the strength of these women, the load that they carry with grace. So this becomes like a symbol. Anytime you see the Kita font being used, you know that there's a woman behind that business. And this is what we actually want to do, to make all or more women businesses visible through this typeface.
Yeah.
So they can actually use it. We have a website. They can download it for free. So it's a tool that they can use for their businesses. So whether you're a woman-owned business, woman-run business, or you just want to support this initiative, you can use the typeface. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, I'm sure may mga milyonaryo na dito sa mga MSMEs na to, women-led MSMEs. Tell us about them. Maica, tsaka yung mga, how do you help the women entrepreneurs? For example, you have mentorship programs, right? And also you have the Academy for Women Entrepreneurs. How does this all help somebody who may want to go on her own, have a sideline, a side hustle?
Yes, you mentioned the Academy for Women Entrepreneurs. You know, there are many women who are just looking for opportunities. Many of them, for example, we have a woman who was working in a call center, and she's a single mother. And for her, she wanted to find a way to be an entrepreneur. It was really to spend more time with her children. And that's what she's doing now, running a six-figure, from earning a five-figure salary to now a six-figure salary. But really, it's for time at home. We do several programs, but the Academy for Women Entrepreneurs is a program that we implement in partnership with the U.S. State Department. We now have had more than 400 graduates from 8 cities across the Philippines. It's a very powerful program where we really have successful stories. And I think more than that, it's, the Kita initiative actually means, Kita means to earn and also to be seen. And I think that was the story behind this initiative. Because at the root of this was actually, if you do a Google search, when you check successful entrepreneurs in the Philippines, it's all men. Not a single woman is on that list. And when you see about the studies that more than 60% of MSMEs are actually run by women, so you actually question, where are the women?
Oo nga. Yes, exactly. Also, I keep seeing one of your taglines, visibility means opportunities. So how do you bank on this concept of yours? Paano nyo ina-applyan sa mga MSMEs natin?
All right. So with this Kita initiative, we started with that community, right, in Quezon City, and we continue to collaborate with Mayor Joy and Quezon City on this initiative, and hopefully it will expand. It's actually starting to expand all over the country. So this is a starting point. We know that, as we've shared, the data is actually very impressive, that a lot of women own businesses, but they're not seen. So we begin with making them more visible, because we know that visibility comes opportunity, right? It opens doors for them. So we want people to support them. You can't support something that you don't actually see, right? So this is a starting point. More businesses are collaborating with us. More brands are collaborating with us. So we're actually seeing the effect, and most of the support that we're getting right now is actually quite organic. So they want to support, because a lot of brands, small businesses, they come from a space of experience that they've actually face many challenges as a small business. So they know that if they had something like this when they were starting, it could potentially help them back then. And of course, so we want to do that for more women businesses now. So the starting point is visibility.
Yes, exactly. It's about promoting systemic changes and also creating a fairer space, no, for everyone.
Absolutely.
We have to take a breather. More to talk about as we explore this movement of women-led MSMEs and their invaluable contributions to the economy. After this short break, Trade Talks My Milyonaryo will be right back. Welcome back to Trade Talks. We continue our discussion with Angie Tijam-Tohid of Havas Ortega and Maica Teves from Spark Philippines, all about Kita initiative. So you have launched in Quezon City, right? So, but there are plans to expand, to bring this to other parts of the country. Tell us about those plans, Angie.
So with after our launch, we started to get calls. People are reaching out, and these are global brands and local brands, and we were really grateful for their support. So with the different activities that we have now with these different brands, the Kita initiative is being seen, and more brands are using it. So with the local businesses, or shall we say smaller brands that are actually starting to use it, this in different parts of the country. So it's not just in Metro Manila. So we have businesses from Visayas actually starting to use the typeface.
Yes.
And as we mentioned, this is the starting point of what we're trying to achieve with the Kita initiative. And that's number one is visibility. Of course, with more collaborations, we really want to turn this into a program that will get more support for these women, give them trainings, of course, with the help of Spark Philippines that has been doing this for many, many years. Will be able to implement more training programs for these
Yes.
women, get them resources and financial support if we're able to down the line. But this is the starting point of making all these women entrepreneurs seen, become visible.
Okay, so Maica, tell us about the seminars, the workshops. How can women participate? Are they for free?
Yes, currently, we now do it Saturdays and Sundays. It's also to give options for including women who are employed to join our programs. This our financial literacy programs comes with different modules. We do help with linkages to bring in capital for them as well, for them to scale up or to start their businesses.
So can you also help women on how to market their products?
Yes, so we at Spark, we have partnerships with different malls where we have a free space for them to participate in bazaars. In fact, this month alone, we had 3 bazaars. That's really a big part for them to be able to promote their products. That's where they're able to get into their products into different supermarkets and also to help them market online. A big part also right now is really, working now with the digital wave that we're going through. Many of them don't know how to use social media. So that's one of the things that we at Spark also do, is to help them create their platforms, to get them on board different online platforms as well.
Bazaars have been a big help, no, to these MSMEs. Tell us about the incentives being offered to them by the Quezon City government.
Well, Quezon City has a lot of programs. One of the reasons why we worked with Quezon City is that an ATB, Asian Development Bank study showed that there are more entrepreneurs who are male, but that's not the Quezon City experience. In fact, they have a department that specifically does programs to help entrepreneurs. And I think more than 60% that Quezon City found, the one availing of these programs are women. So it could be opening of a sari-sari store or giving them capital to start a business. And that is also why we chose to work with the Quezon City government.
All right, Angie, tell us about the challenges that women entrepreneurs are facing today, and how are you helping them overcome these obstacles?
As I've earlier shared, hearing the stories of these women who, when they were starting, it's actually very difficult for them to start, obviously funding, capital, and all of those things, or even the systemic barriers, like they're, of course, taking care of families, they're, taking care of their homes, and at the same time trying to augment the income of the family. So these are some of the challenges they face, and of course, in partnership with Spark Philippines and of course the programs also of the Quezon City government, we're able to understand these challenges more, and hopefully along the way be able to provide them the help that they need. of course, with very strong programs in place that will actually help them, like take care of their homes, but at the same time, potentially grow their businesses.
Right.
Yeah.
It could start from something small.
Yes, yes.
Right. Like creating your baked goods or bottled food.
That's right.
And
that's
tailoring.
Right. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah,
What is
yeah.
your advice to women out there who may be, cooking up something in their head, wanting to try and start their own
Right.
business?
I think obviously just go for it. I mean, a lot of times it starts from something that you're interested in, like you said. Maybe it's cooking, maybe it's baking, and then you just keep going. I think we will always face different barriers as we try to pursue something that we're good at or we're passionate about even. But you just keep going, and there are programs like the Kita Initiative out there that can help you, and you can just reach out to us, reach out to Spark Philippines, because we have programs in place to help you in your journey as an entrepreneur. Yeah.
Final words from you, Maica, and maybe your message to the LGUs out there who may want to collaborate with you guys.
Yes, we're really hoping for more local government units to come on board and support us and support women entrepreneurs. I always say that women are the best investment you can make based on returns. When you invest in a woman and in her potential, you do not just support her, but you support families, you support communities and economies.
Right. And if they succeed, the communities flourish.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Angie and Maica. Angie of Havas Ortega and Maica of Sparks Philippines. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that's today's show. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Stay up to date on the inspiring stories of entrepreneurs and innovators and the secrets to their success. Only here on Trade Talks, My Milyonaryo. Stay with BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.